are you showing up on social media? Are you just sharing generic graphics? Are you posting all of the regular holidays? Are you sharing some stock photos and you feel like you're doing all the things you're posting, but you really don't like doing it? You're tired of social media, but you have to be on it. And I hate to break it to you, this episode, I'm not going to give you some magic get out of jail free card. You have to be on social media for your business, because if you're not on it, somebody else in your industry is. But how can you show up more intentionally and get more business behind what you're doing with social media? And how can you be on it so that you're generating leads and not just generating likes? That's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. Hi, friends. I'm Katie Brinkley, and you're listening to a Rocky Mountain Marketing Quickcast. These bite-sized episodes are released every Thursday and are going to give you the latest news and tips in the world of social media that are happening right now. Let's dive into today's Quickcast episode. So, as 2023 is coming to a close, we've been able to see a lot happen in the world of AI. And in 2021, we saw NFTs take over. We were all expanding our minds with the metaverse and Web3. And then things kind of got quiet. We didn't know really if we were ready to go into the metaverse. We didn't know if we were ready for the metaverse, NFT, computers to be a part of our day-to-day life. But then good old ChatGPT rolls into town, and all of us are all in on AI now that 2023 has come to a close. ChatGPT and AI has changed the way that we're showing up. And I think it's more important than ever for us to go in intentionally with our social media. Social media was intended for connection. It was intended for community building. But if we're having ChatGPT and having computers assist us with so much of our business, are we actually growing our community and our connections? Or are we just checking a box? And I don't know about you, and I've said this before, but I don't go on social media to kill time anymore. Every time I'm on social media, it is intentional. And it's been a huge shift. It's been something that I've worked at a lot over the past year, especially, but the past 3 years, ever since Clubhouse, honestly, because let's be real, during the pandemic, we were all spending a lot of time hanging out on these little apps and, whether it was TikTok or Clubhouse or Facebook, it got really overwhelming and it got really demanding. So I really wanted to spend more time with my family. I wanted to spend more time growing my business, more time being intentional. I feel that with doing that, I'm not as burnt out on social media. I'm getting more leads. It's still working for my business. And I feel like things are the way that they should be. And I'm saying all this because this week on December 12th, 12/12/23, it was a very exciting day in the world of Katie Brinkley. My book, The Social Shift, came out. It is available in paperback and in hardcover. And this book took a while. It took 18 months to write and to get published. I mean, it took so long that I was able to update some of the chapters from being focused so much on NFTs, and I was able to rewrite them for more AI relevant content. I was able to update all the stuff I said on Twitter. I was able to change it to X. I'm thankful that it took a while to get it pushed out. But I think that we all need to shift the way that we're showing up online, the way that we are creating our social media. You've heard me say time and time again about showing up intentionally, the 4-post strategy, and how you can show up to build more business when you have that end goal in mind. Who are you creating the content for? Who do you want to reach and connect with? And The Social Shift shares a lot of my personal insights into social media. So I started back in the days of MySpace, helping bands with their MySpace pages. And who would have ever thought that we'd be at the point we are now with social media? But when we were showing up on MySpace, we were showing up and we were connecting. We were showing up and building community. And that's one of the things that I fell in love with. I was connecting with bands and getting free tickets to shows and becoming friends with them. And it was great. And I think that social media platforms transformed the way that we show up and we build our connections. No, I mean, some of my closest friends are in other states, and they've become close friends through a computer screen. I think that that is where we have to be intentional with our time we move into this new iteration of the internet. We haven't been talking about Web3 and the metaverse as much in 2023 as we were in the previous years. It's still coming, folks. We're still seeing Minecraft is available on the face of the Meta Oculus device. There's these avatar worlds that we can enter in. The metaverse is coming. Web3 is coming. And I think that the more I learn about these two platforms, the more I want to be intentional with the way that I've been using Web 2.0, so social media platforms. The way that we've been showing up on Web 2.0, we can't let it take over our lives as we move into this new iteration of the internet. I think that the way that we're showing up with social media now, if we go into Web 3 with the same sort of mentality, we're never going to enjoy real life. We're never going to enjoy the moments that we have and the connections that can happen outside of a digital world. And so we have to be intentional with our time. We have to shift the way that we are showing up on social media. And I think that the way that we're showing up now, we have the opportunity to do something incredible. You can build your community and build connections that are your biggest fans, so that when you do have a book that's available for purchase, they're showing up and saying, yeah, I want to buy it. When you do have the opportunity to host a webinar, those people are showing up to tell their friends about it. Community can happen so easily online, but you have to know who it is that you're talking to and how you can relate to them, how you can help them. That's one of the things I talk about in the Social Shift, is how you can build an authentic online community for your business. It's not just for personal brands or podcasters or live streamers. When you show up as a business online, it's not just sharing all of your business accolades or, saying how people can buy from you. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to hear that. But if you show up and build a community around your brand, amazing things are going to happen for your business growth. So the Social Shift, the road back to community. I'm so fortunate to have Joe Pulizzi. He wrote the foreword of the book. Michael Stelzner, the founder of Social Media Examiner and Social Media Marketing World, gave me a testimonial. Brian Kramer, Molly Mahoney, Andrea Vall, Jeff C., Phil Mershon, Rich Brooks, Alex Sanfilippo. I can't thank enough people who have stood behind me and my book. And now it's finally here. It's available for purchase. If you want to get it, you can pick it up at katiebrinkley.com/book. It's available in hardback or in paperback, but I'd love it if you checked it out. I think that with this book, I hope it opened your eyes to a whole different way of approaching your social media, of approaching it in a way where you're not just showing up and consuming anymore. You're intentional with your time. You're intentional with your connections. You're forming a community around your business. And with all the things that we learn now and we start implementing now in this Web 2 world, like I said before, the metaverse is coming, the Web 3 is coming. We need to be more intentional with our time and the way that we're showing up with the next iteration of the internet. And there's no better time to learn and make those changes than now. Be sure to pick up The Social Shift. It is now available at katiebrinkley.com/book. Grab it today. And I would love to connect with you and know what your biggest takeaway was. Thank you again for your support. And let's all go into 2024 shifting the way that we show up on social media. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Make sure to subscribe so that you can continue navigating the world of entrepreneurship. And I'd love to hear from you. Please leave the show a review and connect with me on social media. You can find me on Instagram at @IamKatieBrinkley or connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you're ready to start making some sales on social media, be sure to grab my free guide to selling in the DMs without being spammy. You can get that at katiebrinkley.com. Let's keep taking your marketing to all new heights.